In a market that's not doing a lot or goes sideways, it's the best time to prepare. And in this video, I want to go full transparent. Exactly what I am doing with the changes that I'm making in my portfolio. This video is meant as maybe some inspiration that can help you out when you look at your portfolio. So let's dive right into mine. Welcome to the FOMO Factory. My name is Menno. If you're new, subscribe. I talk about crypto every day, no moonboy shit. Keeping it real and try to make some money the right way. Also, like the video if you feel like I'm gonna like the video, and if you don't like the video, dislike the video, whatever. So I want to take you through the changes that I'm making in my portfolio, and not necessarily all the coins that I'm buying and selling, but my full strategy. And again, I'm not saying that this is gonna be the best strategy. You do you. If you feel like, oh, this may be not for me, fine. I'm not telling you to do so. Just showing what I'm doing, because this has worked for me so far. I went from 0 to more than 0. This is the approach that I am taking right now. If you want to follow my portfolio in real time though, check out the Alpha Factory. There's a link down below. You can get on a one-on-one call with me if you feel like FOMO. Do you want to check out my portfolio? Talk to me for an hour, a month, whatever. Exclusive videos, follow my portfolio, get insights in real interesting charts that help you. There are not a lot of things in crypto that's worth your money. This 100% guaranteed is, I can tell you that. And you can ask the community members there as well. So I am going to break down my strategy and holdings in 3 type of categories. First is spot, second is stables, and the third is startups. You can do them all. So don't feel like, yeah, I'm not able to get into spot positions for some reason, or not able to get into stables, or to invest in startups. You can, and I'm gonna show you exactly how if you're interested. But again, this is mostly what I am doing right now. First of all, I have my bull hat on, of course, and therefore I remain big on spot holdings, right? And what do I mean by that? Sure, you know, the coins that I have here in my list, and there are more coins. These are coins that I'm holding partly, right? There's a lot not here, by the way, yet. But these are coins that I'm holding. And if I look at these coins, they are all really low compared to where they came from. Of course, you have a super, which has outperformed from 7 cents all the way to 2.30 basically, and it's now down at 64 cents. Yeah, should you compare to the upside or should you compare to the downside? That's the big question, of course. I think you should not look at these individual coins to start with. I think you should first look at the bigger picture, what's going on in the macro. Yeah, at the moment of recording, the S&P just broke 6K again, and it's on its way of making a new all-time high. I cannot look at the stock market and be like, oh, I'm bearish. Like, on what? Like, this is looking fantastic. Also, when it comes to altcoins specifically, because we know that Bitcoin is also, yeah, I get, we all know what I'm saying right there, right? It's not a bear market. It's a bull market. It's an obvious bull market. It's a fat bull market, and Bitcoin is doing fantastic. If you are in a loss on Bitcoin, what did you do? If we look at the total crypto market, there's more than $3 trillion in the crypto market, more than at the top of 2021, full on alt season. We now have more money. Everything is looking fantastic. The setup is there. We want alts to outperform though, because I can invest in Bitcoin right now, and if everything goes well, then I'm maybe pull off a 3x this cycle. But is that what we're doing it for? I don't know what you think. Like, well, Bitcoin 300k? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know, right? It could. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Bitcoin has such gains. Let me know down below, where do you think Bitcoin is going and why? That would help a lot actually. But I'm not doing it with Bitcoin right now. One of the reasons is that, you know, if I look at the Bitcoin dominance at this moment, Bitcoin dominance is sky high. If we look at the alt season index, this is sitting at 20. This is full Bitcoin season. We haven't even been close to an altcoin season this cycle yet. And if we look at the risk levels for the Bitcoin dominance, you'll see that it's sitting at 0.923. If this was any other coin, everybody in its right mind would say, hey guys, I don't know, but if you don't sell now, then what the fuck are you waiting for? So the Bitcoin dominance is showing like, yeah, you know, we can maybe stay here for a while and go a little bit higher, but are you really bullish on me? Then why? Like, go to a mental hospital right now. I don't want to, you know, be like a dick to the Bitcoin bulls and Bitcoin maxis. If anything, you did great so far, but you also have to know when to step off of that train. The best moment to got on that train was, of course, when the risk was sitting in not even the lowest risk level, right? But between 0.2 and 3. Now it's at the highest. You know when else it was sitting at the highest? Here, right before alt season. Therefore, I am putting my money in alts. But how and why and what and where and when and what's the tactic? And am I round tripping, trading, gambling, swimming in the trenches, looking for new crap? Or am I doing it a little different? I'm doing it a little different. By the way, ChatGPT told me like, hey, if you make videos, make sure there's a call to action. So, call to action! Like something, I don't know, do something. This is what they want. I can't help it. What am I doing right now? I have, like I said, my spot holdings. That's where most of my money is sitting right now. And with spot holdings, it is altcoins and mostly the relative safer altcoins. Relative is a word that should be in capital letters, of course. AVAX is one of my bigger bags. Ethereum is one of my bigger bags. Render is one of my bigger bags. Seedify is one of my bigger bags, but I don't see that as relative safe at this moment, purely market cap wise, and the fact that, you know, they are a launchpad and that only works when the market does well, but then it works a lot better. And assuming that the market is gonna do well, Seedify is for me the easy play, but it takes a little bit more time. But these are the kind of coins that I'm in right now. So these are my spot holdings. And with my spot holdings, I have around 75% of my portfolio allocated right there. What am I doing with that? Patiently waiting while I'm seeing that every contender is giving up. And that's beautiful. Again, I said before, right? Crypto is player versus player. And if you don't understand that, you know, let me make it really clear. This is the altcoin market, right? We were selling off, and we had a big liquidation event. Why do these sell-offs occur? Because people sell, right? And in this liquidation event, it's because longs got liquidated, etc. What was actually going on over there? There was panic in the market. So people sold. But is that ever a right time to sell? The people that bought the panic, they bought the wick low that we got this whole cycle, basically. We never went below it so far in the last year, at least. People sold in fear, and my plan is to always buy into that fear. That's the way to go. So you have to, and that's what I'm mostly preaching about on this channel, have your emotions in check. You can be a downy that listens to Crypto Gains, Suppo Man, Crypto Banter, and be like, I just need top 10 altcoins. And I don't even want you to make that money. You're gonna fuck yourself and your whole surroundings up. You are not made for money. Don't make it. Please, you will die and your kids will as well, probably. You are irresponsible. So I don't talk about that much. Occasionally I make a video about it, but these are more the exceptions. What's of course way more important is that you understand when to buy, when to sell. Because if you buy a complete fucking shitcoin right before a big bull market, you can do fine. Look how that in the last cycle, Xen, everybody was happy and bullish on Xen. Like, what was that? You know, it was one of the biggest Ponzi's ever created. From the moment it came out, it had some hype, it had some good things to it, and it gained a lot, right? And that made everybody like, oh, it's already up 2000x. That looks like a good buy. Okay, but then what happens in the moment where a coin is into a certain market with circumstances where it all looks a little worse, then you'll notice that especially the Ponzi's, but nowadays it goes pretty much also for layer ones, that it just dies. It's fucking down 100%. How could it go down 100%? This thing died. The same goes for a lot of these coins. We had Space Moon, we had Hex, we had all these kind of coins that if all stars align, of course they can go up really hard. But you'll also notice that when the market itself is not really bullish, that these coins basically have 6 bear markets in one, right? Like they get wrecked. And you can also look at the safer coins and still, like if you look at Solana, this is also a perfect example, right? If you look at Solana, it's a better coin than a Xen or whatever we talked about, right? I guess we all know that. But at the end of the day, even a Solana goes down 96%. So buy a terrible coin at a great time can make you a lot of money, and buy a good coin at a bad time can make you lose a lot of money, right? So therefore, the top 10 coins, go work at an animal farm, cat cafe, or some like, don't get involved, because that won't work if you don't understand the market a little bit. Moral of the story, buy the fucking dip, and if everybody is bearish, just buy, right? So that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm allocating. And I think that in the altcoin market, especially now that a lot of people have lost their faith, just like the beginning of 2021, that's the moment where you want to buy. And if you look in the YouTube comments like, oh, this time is different, you really have to be a fucking genius to outsmart the market. Like really Wall Street kind of level. Yeah, you think that I have a bunch of Wall Street people in my comments? No offense to maybe the one person that ever came from Wall Street. But overall, that's not really the YouTube comment audience. So ignore everything that has something to do with sentiment and people saying that this time is different. Therefore, I have my spot holdings, and with my spot holdings, I'm just simply buying really low. If it takes a big pump, then I'm gonna take some profit out, definitely. But overall, I have set my selling targets on GTFO, Get the Fuck Out, platform made by a community member in the Elf Factory. Honestly, if you don't use it, don't be stubborn. Check it out. It helped me so much. I can literally pick a coin that I have in my portfolio right here, see my average entry, and I want to get the fuck out, right? So I'm gonna plan a transaction. I'm gonna say sell. What prices do I want to sell it for? How much do I want to sell? And then you'll know exactly with how much money you're walking away with if you're dollar costing out. But you could also say, hey, I want to set a target, right? How much money do I want to walk away with? Or how many X's do I want to make? Do I want to make it from the current market price or my entry price? Let's hypothetically do this, right? How many transactions do I want to do? Calculate a sell plan. Here is where I want to sell this much tokens at this price, this at this price, and then you actually walk away with that many X's. Thank you very much. No emotions involved, pure strategy. It's beautiful. Then stables. I always have stables, and I got in December, a lot of people, they told me yeah, you should not have stables. It's all in. And then it fucking crashed, right? You'll never know when it is going to crash. Right? It is still crypto. Can it go down with 80%? Yeah, I mean, yeah. How would it feel if you are all in and the market goes down 80%? Do you feel like, oh, what a good day? No, it's a bad day. If you have cash, you always have the opportunity to buy, if you want so or not. But just the fact that you are able to makes you feel so much better. I also have a plan B when it comes to that, because, hey, whoa, what if the market shoots up really hard? I write 75% of my wealth up with that, right? So that's enough for me. But even if I feel like, oh no, for some reason it's bad because I'm missing out with my other 25%, I invest in startups. I invest in pre-sales. And that's where the big fucking money is. And that's also where the low risk is. And this is not to talk you into it. If you don't want to, don't, especially don't. Please buy it off the open market when I'm dumping on you, right? Like, rather do that. But for the people that feel like, yeah, okay, I want to listen to what this could be, I do that through Launchpads. And I spoke about it before, but if I have to just very quickly, top 3 Launchpads for me: ChainGPT, Seedify, and Decubate. Launchpads are underperforming whenever the market is going down. This is my theory. If the market goes down, your portfolio goes down. You are maybe in a loss, at least you are down as a Superman fan. If you lost a lot of money, do you feel like, ooh, I want to buy into new projects? No, not really, because one, you don't have money, and two, if you still would have it, You would rather have your portfolio going up and see some faith and certainty in the market before you gamble on new coins that come out and probably fail. So you're not even going to try that. Therefore, in a downwards market, the launchpad tokens, they sell off hardest. And that's exactly what you should buy by then, in my opinion. NFA. Don't sue me. All these disclaimers. Is this really needed? Like, for example, with Seedify. When the bear market was over, the whole market on general, right? The altcoin market without the top 10 did a 425% gain. Seedify did around 950. Why is that? Because again, in a market that shows confirmation, people want to invest in new projects. And it's not that all of a sudden has changed over the last year because, hey, in the last year, the inflation in the altcoin market was... No, the inflation on pump fund was, but luckily they're all rocked, so the liquidity cannot go there. So the argument of there are too many coins in the market, I think it's kind of ridiculous, actually. Now, if you look at Seedify, it outperformed really hard. And what happened here in December 2023, people were looking at a couple projects that released on Seedify that did a 20, 30, 40x, like ChainGPT and Hypercycle, Sophia First and GT. I don't know what the hell, like there are too many to name, right? They looked at that and be like, oh, I want to be in Seedify, but oh, it's really expensive. Bad Seedify, it's so expensive. Nobody can pay for it. And then when it goes down and it gets like really affordable, people be like, yeah, but it's dead. So which one do you want? And therefore, in these low prices, my conviction is that launchpads are a great buy. Not only because so far the launchpad tokens are always outperformers. They outperform meme coins, they outperform layer ones, they outperform dexes, they outperform gaming. Why? Because they release everything in these niches. So with a launchpad, you're also covered with all these different sectors. So why would you not do this? Because there is, with these launchpads at least, a refund policy. And that's how I am playing it. I'm stacking up on Seedify now that prices are really low. Whenever it's really high, I don't have to ape in for 10 times as much money to get the same tier. But whenever it's really high, I can also participate in all these launches with a lot of money because I have the highest tier. Last cycle, we saw 700x's, 500x's, multiple 100x's, and a lot of 50x's in the last quarter of 2021. With a good tier, you only have to get one launch and it completely paid off. For some reason, hypothetically, there will be no more good launches. Never. The whole world has changed. We live in a completely different universe right now. You ask for a refund and you put your money into something else. That's what I'm doing. Nothing to lose. Unless, of course, but that goes for every project, Seedify dies. Could happen. Hey, but if you're scared for projects dying, then don't invest in crypto. And I'm very conservative lately, right? If it doesn't give me back my initial investment pretty much at TGE, I'm gonna just refund it. This is a list from last year. Were there any good launches last year? Some, most, no. So if you look at a Bloodloop, for example, you could say like, hey, it went from 8 cents to 50 cents. I don't know anymore what the TGE percent was, but I think it was like 10%. So it was pretty hard to, even with a what was it, 6x, to get your initial out. But you'd be like, well, 6x, right? 2 more vestings and we're there. After 2 more vestings, it already started to go down. Yeah, and then it's getting harder and harder. And unfortunately, this is by far not the worst looking chart to give as an example. So therefore, you want to play it a little safe. Now, what I am doing personally is liking this video with 10 different accounts. No, it's a joke, YouTube. I will never do that. Don't ban me. But if you want to do that, like, I'm not trying to push you, but feel free. So what I'm personally doing now is stacking up on Seedify tokens to get the highest tier over there. And I feel like I'm in a rush because Seedify is cooking lately. How am I doing that? I know that I need a certain amount of Seedify tokens to get there. Cost me a lot of money. I don't want to deploy a big part of my cash. So you can shuffle coins, right? And that's what we do in the Alpha Factory a lot as well. I'm gonna take a look at your portfolio and be like, that coin against that coin. Hey, maybe there's a good trade in there. I look at Seedify and I'll be like, yeah, okay, Seedify didn't really move lately. What has been going up a little bit lately? Ethereum. So how is Seedify looking on its ETH pair? really low, right? Therefore, I just bought a little CeFi with Ethereum. Is it a falling knife? Yeah, but bro, I didn't buy here. I didn't buy here. I didn't buy here. I didn't buy. I bought here. Yeah, and in that case, if it goes down, that's like fall. It fell enough for me already to start deploying that. You could also take a look at other coins. How is it doing against AVAX? Low, not the lows right now, but really low, looking really fine. So if I ever feel like, hey, you know what? I'm having a profit on AVAX. I am in a loss on CeFi. That's for me personally. I feel like, why don't take some money out of AVAX and put it into CeFi? I mean, look at this chart. This is one of the best moments ever to do that. Also, how it's doing against ChainGPT. Yeah, okay. Well, not interesting enough for me at this point. But that way you can put all coins against each other. And I'm just making sure that I am strengthening my portfolio really hard. This is my approach. This is what I am doing right now in a boring sideways market to adjust my portfolio. Also, if you feel like, yeah, but I live in a country where launch pads are restricted, then what should I do? Move to another country. And if you feel like, well, that's a lot of work, okay. But in that case, you can take a look at Web3 Whales. That's my project. It's not that I'm shilling it. I don't even want you there. I mean, the less people, the bigger the share for us. But for this community, we invest in launchpads together collectively. We have the highest tier on ChainGPT, the highest tier on CeFi. Neo Tokyo, we have a lot of access. And by staking the Web3 Whales token, you just claim your share of stables by the profits that we make. So it's just sit back, relax, and we do it for you. It's basically the best way to do it. And a bonus tip, I'm not letting my tokens dust away. For example, I'm big on Joe. Joe is the leading DEX on AVAX. AVAX is one of the most sleeping chains, in my opinion, right now. And I feel like when it wakes up, Joe is going to do very well. And it's sitting very low right now. However, I'm not gonna let it sit in my wallet, just joeing around for nothing. You can also stake Joe and get a share of the fees that they make on the Trader Joe platform. You want to be careful with staking though, because certain projects say like, you can stake, but takes a long time before you get your tokens back. With Joe, that's not the case. You can unstake anytime. You don't lock it. So there I feel good. I, for example, also staked my Wilderworld tokens, and yeah, my fault for not researching that enough, but I was farming it. Big profit! I thought, let me take out that profit. And while the world said, yeah, but you know, the profit is going into a 12-month staking pool, so it's locked for another year. And I feel like, ooh, June 2026. That sounds bear market-ish. So I'm probably fucked. Watch out. I'm in crypto full-time, and even I wasn't clever enough to realize that I should have done a bit more research on this one in specific. So I can imagine that some people are just as impulsive and feel like, oh, let's go. Don't go. Check it out first. There's no rush. You won't miss out anything by doing half an hour research. That's what you can do to at least make sure that your coins are working for you. Be careful though with coins that give out extreme high APYs, because then there's a lot of inflation, or it is a huge Ponzi. And neither of those is actually sustainable. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you like the video. Let me know what you're doing. Put it in the comments and not like, oh, I'm watching this video. Now, what are you doing with your portfolio? Please, again, subscribe. I want to change that stupid llama with a silver play button. But yeah, 100,000 subs needed. So we have to, put some work in. And I'm already sick of that llama. So please join the channel just to get rid of that thing, okay? Much love. Thanks for watching. Take care.